Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago. Prisons Commissioner Carlos Carraspi has been sent on leave days after the Prison Officers Association complained about alleged VIP treatment being given to businessman Dominic Hadid, who is currently incarcerated at the maximum security prison in Aruca under a preventive detention order. Maybe the commissioner realized, I have a feeling this man is already being detained for wrong reason. Let me give the man a little bly. And then besides that, it's not the first time here in Trinidad and Tobago that certain prisoners were given special treatment. And this is not a criminal. This is not a convicted criminal who has been sentenced to X amount of years in prison. This is a man that is being detained by the TTPS for alleged crimes that either don't have any type of evidence at all, or has been fabricated, or probably very little evidence, insufficient evidence to be able to charge him with a crime. And so what if the police commissioner decides, you know what, I will give him a little bly. A little bly. He is in prison, but I will give him a little bly. What's wrong with that? You suspend the man for that, even though there's so much more controversies and so much more corruption within the prison service and the TTPS. Well, they ain't suspending nobody in the TTPS though, in high ranking. In confirming the root of the issue yesterday, POA General Secretary Lester Logie said he wrote to Carraspi about the matter on Friday, copying the letter to Prime Minister Kamla Persad and Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander. It ain't political, but I guess they say it ain't political, but I guess you have to follow protocol and you have to send that information to them as well. In the letter, Logie said the association had raised concerns that Hadid, the founder and executive chairman of Blue Waters Products Limited, was receiving treatment not afforded to other detainees, creating a safety risk for prison officers. But as I said before, it's not the first time we've heard about situations like this. It's not the same, but other prisoners were given special treatment as well. What about when you have good behavior and things like that? And you get privileges anyhow you take it? Anyhow, I'm not saying what the prison commissioner did was right. I'm just saying this about the hypocrisy. Members were being threatened because of it. They said he was out late in the night. He's outside his cell all after 9 o'clock in the night. Most of the day he's in the prison administration building, Logie claimed. As I said before, maybe the prison commissioner was saying, "Wait, boy, you know what? I don't want to end up being part of this lawsuit or nothing like that." And he must feel sorry for the man. Because the man must have done realize already this is just a political, this is a whole political plot. But anyhow, Logie said the administrative building is separate from the prison compound. Added that officers reported being threatened by other detainees who believed Hadid was receiving preferential treatment. Now, once again, I'm not blaming the prisoners. They have a right to be feeling angered by this. They shouldn't be threatening anyone, though. All that's going to end up doing is costing you more time in prison. Don't threaten anybody. If you find it unfair, speak out. Nothing wrong with that. Speak out and say you find it unfair. And I'm not saying it is fair. I'm just saying that is the hypocrisy that I can't stand. And I do believe that maybe it's being done because this man is not a convicted criminal, anyhow you take it. But was being done. According to Logie, Hadid is being held in the remand section of the MSP and occupies a cell by himself. Well, yeah. I mean, come on, people. When you even have celebrities and stuff like that, whether it's here in Trinidad or in a way, do you all put these celebrities in cells with other people in the prison population that might be dangerous and stuff like that? Does that happen? Isn't that being given special treatment to that extent? This is a man that hasn't been convicted of a crime. And is a man that has a whole lot of money that could sue a whole lot of people. Will you take the chance of putting him in general population where he could end up being harmed? That makes sense? Calm the man. He said Hadid is entitled to leave his cell for morning exercise and to receive visits, but was getting other privileges. These are detainees. There are detainees. Sorry, there are who were not getting those privileges, and some made threats to officers based on the special treatment they saw him, Hadid, getting. And as I said before, I don't blame the prisoners for being angry. Anyone that's seeing what's taking place, especially how this is a so-called different race, Assyrian, yeah, they will feel offended or whatsoever. But they need to understand as well, this man has not been convicted of any crime. He hasn't even been charged for any crime. So you all should try and at least understand that. Most of you all there, I'm not saying that some of you have probably been detained as well without any sort of charges. And you all have a right to take your cases to court as well. But this man, people, in a lot of in the eyes of many individuals outside, including myself, this man is being wrongfully detained because there's no evidence to be able to charge him over 2 weeks later, nearly about 3 weeks now. Those detainees don't be out in the night and things like that, Logie said. Logie said remand prisoners are generally subject to the same daily regime as convicted inmates. Right, but what I'm asking is, you're in remand. Have you been charged? And most of you charged, you may not be convicted, but have you been charged for a crime? That's the question. This man hasn't been charged. And maybe that's the difference. So Logie said remand prisoners are generally subject to the same daily regime as convicted inmates, including limited time outside their cells. But of course, maybe it's depending on the type of crime as well. Maybe. But once again, the question is, aren't there cases where certain individuals who, because of good behavior, are given special treatment anyhow? But their case, I'm going to bring up a case just now for you all, and you will see what I'm talking about. How it's not just the Hadid guy, right? Asked whether he welcomed Karaspi being sent on leave, Logie said he hoped the move will lead to changes within the prison system. He wasn't hoping for that all the time. All of a sudden, you're hoping for it just because he's a Syrian man that was given special treatment. He wasn't hoping for that all the time, though. That's strange, eh? That's real strange. Information obtained online. Now I'm giving you all my information now. The discovery of a 65-inch flat-screen television inside Building 13 at Trinidad's maximum security prison in Aruca sparked intense public scrutiny regarding systemic corruption and security breaches. This had nothing to do with the Hadids, people. So you see what we're talking about? People were given special treatment in the past. Discovered in February 2025, that's last year, and revealed to the public by Defense Minister Wayne Sturge later that July, the contraband belonged to a high-ranking inmate who allegedly used a television alongside online video games to coordinate directly with external gang elements. Now that's alleged. I don't know. With this government system, you really don't know what is truth or not. Maybe he was just using it for entertainment, right? Nevertheless, he was given special treatment. The incident exposed deep vulnerabilities within the facility, with government officials acknowledging that the successful smuggling of such a massive appliance pointed to the severe intimidation of prison officers by criminal figures behind bars. But it doesn't even have to be about intimidation. It has to be with the corrupt system by itself. People were given special privileges all the time anyhow. You take it, and we see it all the time, where prisoners are videotaping themselves and posting stuff online. You never call on the commissioner of prisons to be suspended because of all that corruption, but because it's Hadid, a Syrian, who has been detained without charges, you put the man on suspension now, and you want to talk about this song in fear. It wasn't fair all the time, though. Despite public speculation linking the television scandal to administrative shakeups, acting prisons commissioner Carlos Karaspi was not sent on leave because of that specific incident. He was sent on leave, around that time. But the officials made it clear it wasn't because of that. If they had said that, then I would say, okay, then fair is fair. But they did not say that was the reason why he was sent on leave that time. In August 2025, Karaspi was instructed to take 240 days of accumulated vacation leave, which the Homeland Security Ministries explicitly characterized as a strategic public service realignment rather than a punitive measure. So it had nothing to do with any disciplinary action. So he wasn't disciplined for allowing a huge screen, a huge TV to be utilized by a prisoner, which is special treatment. But now he is being suspended because he gave a man a blight who hasn't been charged for any crime. Boy, my response, meanwhile, prisoners continue to have access to internet. I don't know how, and phones in spite of so-called crackdowns. When UNC wins, everybody wins. It was supposed to stop all that corruption from taking place in the prisons. More than 1 year later, it seems as though that is still taking place. Why wasn't the commissioner suspended due to that level of incompetence, which has been an issue for so many years? How come? How come last year with the same TV, with the TV scandal, how come he wasn't suspended because of that? These political PR stunts only serve to discourage even more citizens from giving UNC an opportunity to govern this nation in the future. Trinidad seems doomed because I don't want it to happen, to end up back in the destructive arms of the Balize team, the mighty Morphin, Ghanaian, coal pot, bicycle, no ham, no macaroni pie, whole strain, tighten your belt, because you're supposed to be a patriot for country, when in fact the country is PNM. In the eyes and the hearts of the PNM small base and their politicians, PNM is their country, their God, and their race. They are patriotic to their party. Sadly, the UNC is now the same. The UNC supporters don't care about this country either, and our constitution, our constitutional rights or democracy. All they care about is their yellow party. Sadly, the UNC has become very, very similar to the PNM. The only difference is, and I will keep saying this, and I'll make no apologies of saying this, the UNC continues to govern better in other ways. Development of infrastructure, right? Revival of the economy, slowly but surely. I think it should be moving much faster. And I'm really not sure anymore whether Petrotrin will be reopened or not, because I'm only hearing more talk than anything else. But they are still doing a lot more for this country to recover it than the PNM ever will. The problem is, I cannot vote for a party that has been so deceptive and that is embracing communism and a police state. I cannot vote for a party like that. And therefore, even though I would still prefer that they win over the PNM in 2030, it is very unlikely. Because Trinidadians people will prefer to be abused by their first husband, PNM, than by the UNC. And right now, people are definitely being abused by this UNC. Roger Alexander, Kamala Persad-Bissessar administration. I chose to put Roger Alexander first because I believe he's the one that is controlling everything at this point in time. I believe he's the one that is influencing Kamala Persad-Bissessar more than anybody else, more than Padarat or anybody else, even more than John Jeremy.
The weather forecast for Wednesday, July 15, 2026 in Trinidad and Tobago predicts a mostly fair, hazy, and breezy day with temperatures peaking at 31 degrees Celsius and falling to a low of 24 degrees Celsius. According to the official Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service outlook, a mild to moderate concentration of Saharan dust will be present in the atmosphere, so sensitive individuals should take precautions. Marine conditions show moderate seas in open waters with wave heights from 1.5 meters to 2.0 meters. Sheltered areas will experience calmer conditions with waves between 1.0 meters to 1.5 meters. Spring tides will be in effect, so coastal visitors should practice extra caution. Winds will be blowing from the east to southeast at 5 to 35 kilometers per hour with occasional higher gusts.
Regional news now. Parents from several primary schools across St. Vincent and the Grenadines recently participated in another educational session on gender stereotyping and other social issues as part of the Full Potential project being implemented in partnership with the Ministry of Education. The workshop forms a part of the project's ongoing efforts to strengthen students' life skills and promote positive social and behavioral development by engaging parents as key partners in their children's education. Health and Family Life Education Coordinator Heather Richards McCammon said the program targets parents because they play a critical role in shaping their children's attitudes and behaviors. And of course, that is true even here in Trinidad and Tobago and across the world. Train up your child in the way he should go. She explained that the sessions are designed to better inform and equip parents with the knowledge and skills needed to guide their children on issues such as gender equality, respect, inclusion, and healthy relationships. What it should include is the counseling of both parents and children to tell them that gang culture is evil and destructive. The worshipping of weed and other drugs is destructive and evil. That's what they need to do, and that's what we need to do here in Trinidad and Tobago as well. I've been saying it for many months now, and I'm not seeing it happening though. We need to reopen and reconstruct, build new ones, and community centers, and have very frequent, even weekly programs in place to get the kids off the streets, and have counseling sessions for both the parents and the kids to try to instill proper, normal, basic morals and values into them, and try to explain to them and convince them that gang culture is evil and destructive. It's not lit. It's not popular. It leads to a very early grave.
I would say the most important stakeholder. So they are extremely important for this partnership. As I would have said to them this morning, if we didn't have parents, you wouldn't have children, you wouldn't have schools. And they are the first parents. They are the first teachers of the children. So it is important for them to know what is happening, what are our expectations, for them to share their expectations, for us to have this conversation together. So we are all on the same, singing from the same song sheet, insofar as what we expect the kids to achieve.
International news now. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has issued a direct warning to Iran, saying Israel is prepared for any scenario and promising a far stronger response if Tehran attacks again. And trust me, Trump wouldn't be able to stop Israel from retaliating. Speaking at the Negev conference in Dimona, Netanyahu said, "Do not count on a rerun. It will be a different event and much more powerful. And they ain't going to stop this time, hopefully, even if Trump tells them, ceasefire, ceasefire." Let's hope Netanyahu will finish the job. Let's hope Trump finishing the job this time too. Adding that Israel will continue to strike anyone who harm them. Well said. Modern-day Jehu of Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I hope and pray. I do hope and pray that the Israelis will look beyond the errors that were made on October 7th, 2024. I hope that they will look beyond that and remember that it's only human beings, human beings they're dealing with. People do make errors, and it was basically because pressure from the international bodies in the first place that Israel was taking Hamas for granted. That they believe that, they will never be attacked. Hamas will never make such a dangerous and deadly decision. So they took their enemies for granted, and even though they were seeing certain type of exercises taking place right across the border, they still took it for granted, and that led to over 1,000 Israelis being massacred on October 7th. Something that Israel has vowed would never happen again. But you cannot trust these other politicians. You cannot trust the opposition or any other members of the political parties or leaders in political parties in Israel. You have seen how much Netanyahu has done to defend the people of your nation. Don't give anybody else that responsibility. Continue to vote for Netanyahu in this time that we are living in, to ensure that Israel will continue to be defended the way it should be. Darlene Graham Norton has officially been sworn in as interim South Carolina senator, replacing her late brother, Senator Lindsey Graham. I was really saddened by his passing. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster appointed Graham's sister to serve out the remainder of her late brother's Senate term after receiving backing from President Trump, Senator Tim Scott, and Senate Majority Leader John Thune. It will be nice if she ends up running for Senate as well. Continue her brother's legacy. Graham shared a unique bond with his younger sister. At the age of 22, Graham legally adopted his 13-year-old sister after their parents died 15 months apart. Northern long stood beside her brother throughout his political career, attending campaign events and official functions. Voters will choose Graham's long-term successor in November after an August 11th Republican primary. Let's just hope that they probably select her as the candidate for the Republicans.
Bible quote of the day. Psalm 22, 1-5. A cry of anguish and reminder of God's faithfulness. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me, so far from my cries of anguish? My God, I cry out by day, but you do not answer, by night, but I find no rest. Yet you are enthroned as the Holy One, you are the one Israel praises. In you our ancestors put their trust, they trusted and you delivered them. To you they cried out and were saved, in you they trusted and were not put to shame.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news report. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.